Have you ever wondered why some of our Korean actors and actresses over the age of 40 remain unmarried? In fact, many of them don't even date. Well, what I'm going to share with you today includes some surprising revelations, since we Americans typically dream of one day marrying the prince or princess of our dreams, right? And we Americans who also love dramas are used to seeing love stories that defy adversities and fight against all odds to end up together. But in real life, it seems that marriage is not a priority for many established actors in Korea. The issue is even more intriguing, especially considering that currently, most young people in Korea don't even think about getting married. Surprisingly, the majority of those who still consider marriage are men. Only 28% of the women surveyed responded with certainty about marriage. But what's behind this trend? Is it a personal choice? A consequence of the demands of their careers, or something else? In this video, we will explore not only the individual reasons why three renowned actors have chosen to remain single, but also discuss how broader cultural changes in Korea are influencing perceptions of marriage. We will debunk some myths, understand the social context, and dive into the personal stories of these actors. Stay with me. I promise this video will make you reflect and reconsider many things about this topic. At the end, don't forget to leave your opinion in the comments. Before diving into the lives and specific reasons why these actors remain unmarried, let me give you some important historical context to understand the prevailing anti-marriage sentiment in Korea. In the early 20th century, Korea went through a dark period when it was invaded by Japan, a chapter marked by oppression and the struggle to preserve cultural identity. During the occupation, which lasted until the end of World War II, the Korean people faced severe restrictions and suppression imposed by Japanese rule. Korean culture was marginalized, and many aspects of daily life were strictly controlled by the Japanese regime. For example, Koreans were often forbidden from speaking Korean and were forced to learn Japanese, in addition to being required to give Japanese names to their children. For those who want to understand those times more deeply, the series Pachinko, starring Lee Min-ho, portrays well how Koreans lived under miserable conditions during that period. After liberation from Japanese rule in 1945, the Korean peninsula faced another turmoil, the Korean War. This conflict began in 1950 and divided the country into North and South. The war, which technically never ended with a peace treaty, but only with an armistice, left South Korea in ruins, with destroyed infrastructure and a collapsed economy. In the following years, South Korea was one of the poorest nations in the world, with a standard of living comparable to the poorest countries in Africa in the 1960s and 1970s. Under the leadership of President Park Chung-hee, South Korea embarked on an ambitious economic development plan. It was a period of transformation and rapid growth, known as the Miracle on the Han River. The nation focused intensely on education and industrialization, evolving from a predominantly agricultural economy to an industrial powerhouse. The government heavily promoted education and hard work as means for national improvement. This emphasis on education resulted in a highly educated population and an enormous workforce, propelling the country to incredible economic growth. However, everything has its pros and cons. The culture of valuing education and work, above all, began to shape Korean society's mindset. Generations were raised with the idea that academic and professional success was a priority, often at the expense of family and personal life. In the following decades, especially after the 2010s, many young Koreans began to question the traditional role of marriage in their lives, seeking financial independence, personal fulfillment, and work-life balance. Marriage came to be seen as an option rather than an obligation. Gong Yoo, for example, is one of the actors over 40 who has never married. To be exact, he is 44 years old today. You probably know that he has been one of the country's top actors since the 2000s and remains attractive even in his 40s. So you might wonder why he hasn't married or even dated. Well, in an interview, he explained his ideal type of woman. He said the following: "My ideal type has changed. When I was younger, I liked women with strong emotions, but now I prefer women with whom I can feel comfortable. I think it would be very difficult to deal with someone who has big mood swings." NBC recently aired a special documentary on the series Coffee Prince, which the actor starred in back in 2007 alongside Yoon Eun-hye, reuniting the entire main cast of the drama. In this show, the actors openly shared things about their personal lives, reflecting on their past and present. When asked, Gong Yoo explained that it wasn't a lack of interest in marriage, but rather a feeling that he had missed the right moment to get married. He clarified, "I'm not thinking that I'll never get married or anything like that, but I think I missed the moment." Besides Gong Yoo, his co-star in the series Goblin has also passed 40 without marrying. I'm talking about actor Lee Dong-wook, star of series such as Tale of the Nine-Tailed and Touch Your Heart. Dong-wook is still single, even though he is now 41. Dong-wook's most recent public relationship was his first since his professional debut, which was in 1999. sign. He was spotted on a date with Suzy, the lead actress in Startup. The actor said, "Actually, I don't have a specific ideal type in terms of appearance." Going a bit against the grain, he expressed a desire to marry one day. He said, "When I see my friends getting married, I envy them." However, during his interview, he explained that one of his priorities in marriage is taking care of household chores. "Even if I get married, I will take care of everything. I have my own way of doing household chores, and I think I feel uncomfortable when others do them differently." In addition, Dong-wook also sees housework as not just for wives, but also for husbands. He said, "This is my personal opinion. I believe household chores should also be done by men." Now you might be wondering, but this man is perfect. Why hasn't anyone tied him down and made him take on the role of marriage? Let me explain. The reason Lee Dong-wook is still single is because his schedule is wonderfully hectic and full, making it nearly impossible to find time and a day off to meet someone. In addition to them, actor Lee Joon-gi also seems to be an opponent of marriage. If you're a fan of him, you should know that you still have a chance since Joon-gi, who is now 41, is still single. In an interview, the actor explained that his ideal type evolves as he ages. According to him, the most important thing is the ability to connect with someone during a conversation. In 2017, Joon-gi officially confirmed his relationship with Hye-bin. The couple began dating in early 2016 after starring together in the 2014 drama Gunman in Joseon. However, a few months after confirming their romantic relationship, Lee Joon-gi and Hye-bin decided to end the relationship, which lasted almost a year. Lee Joon-gi found that his sister is the reason he has remained single. On the August 30th, 2023 episode of TVN's talk show You Quiz on the Block, Joon-gi appeared as a guest. The actor said that mutual friends always tell him something like, "The reason you and your sister are still not married is because you two never separate. You are inseparable." In recent years, marriage rates in South Korea have continued to decline drastically. According to recent data from Statistics Korea, the number of marriages in the country hit a record low in 2023, with a rate of just 4.2 marriages per 1,000 people, one of the lowest in the world. Factors contributing to this shift include increasing economic pressures, the pursuit of personal independence, and career prioritization. Another actor who follows this trend is Jo In-sung, who, at 42 years old, has never married. In various interviews, he mentioned that marriage has never been a priority in his life, and for him, emotional readiness for such a commitment is key. Jo also highlighted the impact of his career on his personal decisions, noting that long filming schedules and intense dedication to work make it difficult to find time for a stable romantic life. But what about you? What do you think about this paradigm shift in Korea, where more and more people, including our actors and actresses, are choosing not to marry or start a family? Does this trend reflect greater freedom of choice in life, or is it a response to the pressures of modern society? How do you view this evolution in attitudes toward marriage and relationships? I'm very curious to know your opinion on this subject. Comment below if you think this change is positive or if you prefer a traditional approach to marriage. Anyway, that's all for today. See you in the next video.